Hi guys and welcome back to our channel, where we recap and explain your favorite movies for you. Would you still be able to look in the eyes of reality even if it is not what you expect it to be? For today's recap, hold your hearts, as you might not be ready for what we are going to show you. The movie Till was released back in 2022, gaining its enormous popularity for the dark and hidden sides of past. So without wasting any time, let's begin. The movie starts with a black woman in a pink dress singing along to a song playing on the radio while driving. Soon a young boy joins her, and both look cheerful. But as the scene moves on, the laughter fades from the woman's face, and tears sprang up in her eyes. August 1995, Chicago, Illinois. Mamie Till-Mobley drove to an expensive store along with her son, Emmett Till. The next scene portrays discrimination against black people, when manager of the store tells Mamie that they are shoes in the basement too, trying to mock him up. After buying a wallet for Emmett, they came back home. Here two new characters are introduced, Gene Mobley, Mamie's boyfriend, and Alma Carr, her mother. Everyone is sitting in the lounge while Emmett sings along a sing on the TV. As soon as the song ends, Alma asks Emmett to go to bed as he has a big day tomorrow. This whole time we can see Mamie quiet and sad. When everyone left, Alma told her that Emmett is grown up and she needs to let him go as he needs to know about his roots. The next morning, Emmett gets ready to leave while dancing with his mother. Before they leave for the station, Mamie once again advises Emmett, be extra careful with white people and to become small in front of them. Emmett asks for his father's ring and Mamie half-heartedly gave him. Before leaving, Emmett gave his watch to his mother and asks her to wear it every day to keep the track of his vacations. Emmett left with his uncle, Moses Wright Till. The scene shifts to a different area, and we can see some Negro people picking up cotton on a bright sunny day. Emmett was there too, but he was distracted and jokes around instead of working. After finishing the work, Emmett and his cousins went to a small mart. Outside of that mart, people were playing different games. Emmett went into the shop. After roaming around a little, he tries to compliment a white woman, Carolyn Bryant, who was behind the counter. Emmett told her that she looks like a movie star and showed a picture for the reference in his wallet. She did not respond and Emmett came out of the shop. She got offended and followed him out of the shop, where Emmett whistled at her, on which Carolyn tries to shoot Emmett, but he was successful in escaping with others. On the other hand, Mamie is greatly affected by Emmett gone and tries to keep herself distracted by planning a trip with her boyfriend. Things are going well for Emmett even 3 days after that incident in the supermarket as he enjoys a party with his cousins. But soon this fun party gets heated up when one of Emmett's cousins condemned what he did in the store. All of this time Mamie is keeping herself busy by partying with her friends. The night Emmett and his cousins came back from the party, Carolyn Bryant sends some men to Emmett's uncle's house. Men drag Emmett out of his room. At first his uncle and auntie try to protest, but when one of them shows a gun, which causes them to back off. A sense of helplessness can be seen clearly on everyone's faces as they took Emmett away in the middle of the night. The scene shifts to the front view of a couple of houses, and we can hear Emmett shouting and crying in the background while some men beat him. The next morning, the men from the last night take a body out, and a young boy witnessed that. The scene moves forward as a phone rings and Mamie storms out of the house, but luckily, she met Gene, who calms her down and calls her parents. Her father, John, brings Mamie's cousin, Ray, with him who could help them find Emmett as he got some connections. Ray told her that he talked to Mr. William Huff, who had connections in Mississippi that can help to find Emmett. Mr. Huff wants to meet Mamie. The next morning, Mamie along with her boyfriend and cousin met Mr. Huff told them about his strategy to find Emmett. He said they will be using the press to put pressure on a statewide search, which meant Mamie must give a lot of interviews, and he is going to write to the governor of Mississippi as well as Illinois. Mississippi's press is already talking about it, but it's not enough. The word spread through the newspapers and people started to gather at Mamie's place. A woman came and tells that she received a call from a reporter who told her Emmett's body was found in the river. As soon as Mamie heard the news, she passed out. News of Emmett's death spreads and everyone talks about it while Mamie sits lifeless, avoiding everyone and staring at the television screen. Ray visited her again and asks her to use this popularity to help some politicians to pass legislation to stop these crimes against Negro people. But Mamie refuses to say anything because that all she wants is to bury her son here in Illinois. They cannot dump Emmett's body in Mississippi. Alma took the responsibility for everything as she was the one who wants Emmett to go to Mississippi. The next scene shows Mamie sitting in the railway station as men unload Emmett's body. After seeing the box of Emmett's dead body, it was the first time Mamie shouted and cried out of pain. Mamie insisted on seeing the body and doctors allow it. Doctors want to prepare her for what she was about to see, but she asks everyone to leave. Emmett's skin was burnt, due to which blood vessels could be seen clearly, and his head was opened. Mamie wanted everyone to see what happened with his boy, so she asks Jean to bring his favorite black suit. The doctor tried to protest, but she did not listen. When Jean left, Mamie came out and talked to reporters. Now America has to see. She took one of them inside with her and asks him to click Emmett's picture with her and Jean. This was published in the newspapers, and now everyone talks about Emmett's death even more. Some came out to support her and some to criticize, but she stood at her point. Emmett's funeral was attended by a huge number of people, and Mamie's decision to make Emmett's body public was fruitful, as the man who took Emmett was charged with murder charges. That was a huge success considering Mississippi, and the first step towards justice for Emmett. But Mamie was not satisfied, as Carolyn was still free. Ray convinced Mamie to go to Mississippi for trial to testify that the body was of Emmett. Mamie informs the Jean about it, and he said he will come with her as Mamie faces a life threat in Mississippi. Mamie refuses to take him with her, as that will not go in their favor and could affect their case. When Mamie's parents came to know that she is thinking of going to Mississippi, they also tried to stop her, but she did not listen to them. She tells them that Mr. Huff and Ray have planned a safe journey and stay in Mount Bayou for her. Mount Bayou is the city that has only Negro population and thus is the safest place for her. When she did not listen to anyone, her father accompanied her. Mr. Evers introduces Mamie and her father, everyone working on Emmett's case from NAACP, after reaching Mount Bayou. The next scene shows Mamie, her father, and the team of NAACP at the court. Mamie was attacked by a white child while she tries to speak to the media in front of the court, and they were continuously disrespected in the court too. After the trial, Mamie visited the supermarket where all of it started. While standing at the door, she pictured Emmett roaming around the shop and talking to Carolyn. She also went to visit his cousin's place where Emmett was living. She found the letter he was writing her and his hat. She was about to leave when she saw a gun in the house. The scene shifts and she is arguing with Moses about why he did not shoot the men who took Emmett that night. He defended himself that it not was just 2 men, it was the whole white community, and they won't stop before killing each Negro in the town. He could not do that to the rest of them. He told her that he will testify. To collect more witnesses, the team of NAACP visited the house of a boy, Willie, in the middle of the night, who saw those men with the body. He tries to run away, but they got him and convince him to testify in court, saying that full security and physical help will be provided to him and his family. The next day, Moses testifies in court. He recalls what happened that night and points at the man, Mr. Millam, who took Emmett. After which the boy testifies. He was very nervous but told everything he could. The next witness that was called was Sheriff Strider, the one who found the dead and declared it dead. He denies that he recognizes the body was Emmett and says even he could not tell that it was of someone white or black due to the condition of the body. Before leaving, Sheriff added the rudest comment that NAACP and the boy's mother plotted all of this and he is still living somewhere. This hits Mamie in the core, but she kept herself composed. Now it was Mamie's turn to testify. Mamie's testimony started with general questions about Emmett and his father. Then, the lawyer asks her to tell to court how she knows that body was of Emmett, and in the answer to that she describes how a mother knows her child more than anyone else. She could recognize every part of his body with eyes closed, and that's exactly what she did. After this, another lawyer asks her about the advice she gives to Emmett before coming to Mississippi, and she repeated the exact words. Mamie did not sleep that night. The next morning, Carolyn was brought to share her side of the story. She tells a fabricated lie to the court that Emmett held her hand and follows her to the living quarters behind the store where he tries to rape her, and it all happened after dark. It becomes too much for Mamie to tolerate. She left the court before Carlian could complete that lie, saying that she knows what the verdict will be. They were still on their way when jury gave the verdict of not guilty and the men were announced as free men. The scene shifts and we can see Mamie addressing the Negro crowd in New York as a part of the NAACP. The movie ends with Mamie standing in Emmett's room and imagining him there. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe for more great videos. We will see you in the next one.